once again from the Open the Book team. It's lovely to be with you. The Bible has many stories with crowds of people wanting to see Jesus and ask him questions. The problem for the man in today's story is that he can't see Jesus because he can't see. In today's story, we hear about a man who was born blind. But something very exciting happened one day. Let's open the book at the story called I Can See. I have a question, said one of Jesus' friends. There's a man here who's been blind since he was born. Did that happen because his parents did something bad? No, said Jesus.
No.
God doesn't punish people by making their children blind.
God does not punish people by making their children blind.
But I'll tell you what. God can use this man's blindness to show us how powerful he is.
God can use this man's blindness to show us how powerful he is.
And with that, Jesus walked over to the man. He knelt down, he spat on the ground, made a little mud out of the dirt and spit, and he rubbed it on the blind man's eyes. It was very messy. Now go and wash your face, Jesus said to the man.
Now, go and wash your face.
And you will be blind no more.
And you will be blind no more.
The man washed his face, just as Jesus said. And when he shook the water from his hair and opened his eyes, he could see. We have a question, said the people who gathered around him. Aren't you the blind man who usually goes begging for food? I am, said the man who used to be blind.
I am.
Then how can you see? I met a man named Jesus who rubbed mud in my eyes.
I met a man named Jesus and he rubbed mud into my eyes.
The crowd was amazed. They were ready to cheer, and then someone else spoke up. Excuse me, I have a question too.
Excuse me, I have a question too.
This someone was a religious teacher who didn't much like Jesus. Why? Because Jesus was too popular and didn't always agree with what the other teachers said. Jesus healed you and he did it today, the teacher asked.
Jesus healed you and he did it today?
That's right, said the man.
That's right.
Well, today is the day of rest.
Well, today is the day of rest.
The special day God set himself aside.
The special day God set himself aside.
The day on which no one is allowed to work.
The day when no one is allowed to work.
But healing is work, surely. So how can this Jesus be on God's side if he breaks God's laws?
So how can this man be on Jesus' side if he breaks God's laws?
I don't know, said the man, but I can see.
I don't know, but I can see.
Because a bad man made you well, accused the teacher.
Because a bad man made you well?
Wait, asked someone else.
Wait.
How could a bad man do a good thing like that?
How could a bad man do a good thing like that?
That's what I want to know, said another. And they asked the man who used to be blind all kinds of questions. Were you really blind?
Were you really blind?
Were you pretending?
Were you pretending?
Who is this Jesus anyway?
Who is Jesus anyway?
It was too much for the man who used to be blind. Listen, he shouted.
Listen!
I don't know the answers to all your questions, but I do know this.
I don't know the answers to all your questions, but I do know this.
Once I was blind, and now I can see.
Once I was blind, and now I can see.
Who but someone sent by God could do a thing like that?
Who but someone sent by God could do a thing like that?
A little later, as the man was by himself, Jesus came to see him. I know it's been a hard day, said Jesus.
I know it's been a hard day,
But I have a question too.
but I have a question too.
Do you believe that God sent me?
Do you believe that God sent me?
I do, said the man. I really do.
I do. I really do.
Jesus smiled. Then no more questions.
Then, no more questions.
How excited was the man who could now see, and how quick everyone was to question and disbelieve what had happened. Now close your eyes for a moment. Even with your eyes closed, you know what this room looks like. You know what your teachers and friends look like. You even know what the open book team look like. Open your eyes now and look around the room. Look at the colours. Look at the shapes. Look at the light. Isn't it all wonderful? Now I'm going to say a prayer, and if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen at the end. Dear God, we can see with our eyes, and yet we often seem blind to the good things around us. Help us to open our eyes to really see the world around us and notice the people who help, so we can say thank you. Amen.
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 And now it's over to Brian for a song.
Hello children, today's story is about Jesus healing a blind man. Now this song is written by someone called John Newton, and he was quite a bad man to start with. He used to sell slaves, and that's very bad, but when he became a Christian that all stopped. He put that behind him, and he wrote a song which is probably the most famous song ever written, which is Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Because John Newton realised that although he wasn't blind with his eyes, he was blind because he couldn't see or understand the love of Jesus for him. So he said, I was once blind, I didn't see that Jesus loved me. And so the song, I'm sure you know, but I'll sing it through once. Just the first verse. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. So I'm sure you can join in. We'll just sing that through twice. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Bye, children. Bye.
Well, children, it's goodbye from us all till next time. Bye.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved